Today I want to talk about a topic called cross-wiring, which really for me is one of the most exciting topics or concepts actually that I've uncovered. I've for a long time struggled to understand how we stop ourselves, sabotage ourselves, that kind of thing. And cross-wiring is a key part of what really has unlocked the mystery of this whole idea of sabotage. When I'm talking about cross-wiring, those of you that have taken Prime Potential will know what I'm talking about. For the rest of you, though, it's really like electrical wiring. If in a home, for example, you go in the living room and turn on the light, and instead of the light in the living room coming on, the bathroom light turns on, you'd know very quickly that there was an electrical problem, that something is cross-wired in the wiring, and you'd call an electrician to get that fixed. Well, we actually have a similar thing that can go on in our human nervous system, in our wiring. We can actually have our needs that I've talked about in other blogs cross-wired. So let's imagine you have the need for love and belonging, very important, and equally important, the need for power. What if they were cross-wired? What would that look like? Well, in my experience, how that shows up is when people have love and belonging cross-wired with power, they don't want to lose the love and belonging, and so what they do is pull back on the power. They don't step forward as fully. They're not as confident as they could be. They could have difficulty making decisions, saying no. They could do a lot of pleasing other people because they're really concerned that the love and belonging might be jeopardized if they stand out, if they really go for their own power. So that's an important cross-wiring that really does need to get untangled because it's seriously going to impact their success, their confidence, even their creativity. Now, how do these needs get cross-wired? Well, it starts when we're little, almost all the time. Things get laid down in our nervous system very early without us consciously even being aware of it. For myself, for example, I was a little girl that loved to talk a lot. I had loads of questions and lots of curiosity, and as you can imagine, some of you, I was often told to be quiet. And so my desire and my wish to sort of express myself sometimes resulted in me getting in trouble with my parents. And I started to connect those dots and really, in a sense, cross-wired that. So here I have my desire to express myself and be seen and known, cross-wired with the fear of losing my parents' love and approval. And so as that unfolded, I actually started to retreat in terms of not expressing myself as much, not being as confident as I'd been as a little girl, and I believed I was shy. And so one day I was talking with my mother and I said to her, you know, I'm really very shy. And she burst out laughing and she said, when did that happen? Clearly not believing me. And I, of course, was very insulted because I thought I was expressing a truth about myself. But from her perspective, that was completely different than how she looked at me. So very early, we can cross-wire things. Now, not only can our needs be cross-wired, we can actually cross-wire what we want with a fear of getting it. What if I was afraid of what I really wanted? Now, I know that sounds crazy. Why would we be afraid of what we want? But as we unpack that and dig down into it, we find that that in fact is the case. People can be afraid of losing weight, of being successful. In fact, we hear it quite often, people being afraid of their own success. But beyond just saying that, we want to understand what is it that's locked in the system. Because unless you untangle that, a person is not going to be free to really bring themselves forward and live their full potential, be as smart and courageous and creative as they really could be. So if this is ringing any bells for you, I'd love to hear from you. Tell me whether this makes some sense for you. Have you seen yourself pull back on any one of the needs, or be at cross purposes with yourself in terms of what you want.